Discover how a millionaire's incredible answer transformed a poor girl's life in 30 heartwarming minutes. Clara stood outside her grandfather's modest house, a weather-beaten shelter filled with echoes of laughter and remembrances of hard work. The sun poured golden rays over Maplewood, her hometown, a picturesque place where neighbors waved and everyone knew their business. But beneath the warmth, Clara's heart felt as heavy as the summer humidity. She juggled school, top grades in hand, while caring for her ailing grandfather, a proud veteran who taught her the meaning of resilience. Dreaming of college felt almost selfish, considering the financial strain that shadowed her family like a looming thundercloud. One sunny afternoon, as Clara wiped sweat from her brow, a luxurious car pulled up. Out stepped Mrs. Thompson, the new philanthropist in town. At first glance, Clara's simple dress and scuffed sneakers drew a sneer from the finely dressed woman. But something in Clara's determination caught her eye. Intrigued, Mrs. Thompson decided to investigate this girl, her humble exterior hiding a profound strength and unyielding dreams. As weeks passed, a budding mentorship blossomed. Every Saturday, Clara and Mrs. Thompson met in the local library. Clara found herself daring to voice her dreams. Aspirations once locked away now streamed out like sunlight breaking through clouds. Mrs. Thompson listened, her heart softening as Clara spoke of scholarships, of relieving her family burdens, and of bright futures. Then came the dreaded announcement of the community scholarship contest. Hope soared in Clara's heart. This could change everything, she whispered to herself, fingers trembling with excitement as she gathered her thoughts for the application. But just when her dreams shone the brightest, a classmate, blinded with jealousy, sabotaged her submission. That night, Clara crumpled onto her bed, tears cascading as despair wrapped around her like an anchor. She felt small, her dreams snuffed out like the flickering flame of a candle in the wind. Clara wrestled with feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness. Why even try? She muttered. Just as her spirit began to wane, Mrs. Thompson appeared, sensing Clara's turmoil. They sat on the porch, the quiet of the summer evening wrapping around them. Clara poured out her heart, casting away her preconceived ideas about wealth. Mrs. Thompson, with tears pooling in her eyes, shared her own struggles and fears, admitting her own feelings of being an outsider. Their hands met, and in that simple connection, the invisible walls between their worlds began to crumble. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. In that moment of raw honesty, Clara felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. She realized there was value in her dreams. With her grandfather's photo watching from the wall, she felt determination surge within her. She would reclaim her path, filling it with purpose, justice, and a fierce fire against the odds. But would she manage to rise from the ashes? The community of Maplewood stood by, holding their breath, eager to see how Clara's journey would unfold. Could she fight for her future and redefine what success truly meant? Clara woke up the next morning, sunlight pouring through her window like hope spilling into her heart. She felt lighter today, each breath a reminder of the possibility ahead. With Mrs. Thompson's unwavering support echoing in her mind, Clara grabbed her notebook and sat at the kitchen table to formulate a new plan. She needed to regroup, to gather herself. Failure was only the first draft of success. As she scribbled down ideas, her grandfather's voice joined the symphony of thoughts. Each setback is just a setup for a comeback, he had always said, his smile encouraging her through countless struggles. Clara closed her eyes for a moment, envisioning him sitting across from her, pride shining in his tired eyes. After breakfast, she made her way to the library. She found Mrs. Thompson waiting, a stack of books beside her. I thought we could explore some scholarships together, she said, a bright smile on her face. Clara's heart fluttered. Together they flipped through the pages, creating a fresh start, filled with endless possibilities. You've got a voice, Clara. Use it, Mrs. Thompson urged. As Clara penned a new application for a different scholarship, the taste of despair lingering at the back of her throat. Days flew by in a whirlwind of research and determination. Clara poured hours into her essays, diving deeper into her aspirations and desires. She wove her struggles into her prose, allowing the world to see her heart raw and open. The words flowed, her passion blazed like a beacon, lighting paths previously shrouded in doubt. Each Saturday became an anchor, a safe space where her dreams were nurtured. As summer wore on, Clara felt herself transforming. Confidence bloomed from her once shattered spirit, fueled by the steady encouragement of Mrs. Thompson. The women became conspirators, charting futures and creating a tapestry embroidered with resilience and hope. But the path wasn't easy without its bumps. Just as she finished her latest application, an unexpected setback shook her resolve. Her grandfather took a turn for the worse one evening, fighting to breathe in a way that echoed the fragility Clara felt inside. Panic bubbled within her, mixing with an overwhelming sense of helplessness. She sat by his bedside, heart heavy. The weight of her dreams began to tremble. I can't chase after a future when my past is slipping away, she thought, her voice breaking as tears flowed freely down her cheeks. Mrs. Thompson's call came in the midst of stormy emotions, offering comfort amidst chaos. She arrived in minutes, kneeling beside Clara, wrapping her arms around her in a tight embrace. Together, remember? You are not alone, she whispered, and the warmth of that moment seeped into Clara's bones, stitching back the pieces of her heart, strength renewed. Clara returned home the next day, a fire of determination ignited once more. She sat at the kitchen table again, looking at her applications spread before her like roadmaps of her future. I'm going to do this, she promised herself, her fingers tracing the edge of the notebook paper, each page a step toward reclaiming her dreams. But just as she began to breathe freely again, the phone rang and everything changed once more. Clara's heart raced. What news awaited her? Would it be the breakthrough she had yearned for? Or would she face another challenge that could derail her progress entirely? The uncertainty hung in the air like a storm cloud, dark and brimming with anticipation. Clara's hand trembled as she picked up the phone. The voice on the other end was uncertain, maybe even a bit shaky. It was Mr. Thompson, Mrs. Thompson's husband. Clara dear. It's about Millie, he began, and every word felt like a stone dropping into her stomach. Is she okay? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. She had a fall this morning. The doctors are looking into it, but... He paused and Clara's heart sank further. I just thought you would want to know. With a heavy heart, she thanked him and hung up. All at once the room felt too small, like the walls were closing in. Clara dropped into a chair at the kitchen table, staring blankly at her scattered applications. The dreams she had been fighting for felt far away, like stars obscured by clouds. Despair coiled around her. This cannot be happening, not now. Millie had been the anchor amidst her chaos, always cheering her on, reminding her of her strength. If Clara didn't have Millie by her side, how could she keep moving forward? A sudden knock at the door jolted her from her thoughts. It was Mrs. Rivera, her neighbor and a comforting face from her childhood. Clara, honey, are you all right? She asked, worry etched on her face. I am fine, Clara replied, though her eyes told a different story. Mrs. Rivera stepped inside, taking one look at her disheveled state. You don't look fine. Tell me what's going on, she pressed gently, taking a seat across from Clara. With a sigh, Clara spoke, pouring her heart out to Mrs. Rivera, who listened intently, nodding, understanding the weight of the moment. As Clara explained about Millie's accident, she felt the tightness in her chest ease just a little. We don't always have control over what happens to the ones we love, Mrs. Rivera said softly, but we do have control over how we respond. Clara picked at the frayed edges of her notebook, absorbing the wisdom woven into the simple words. I know I'm supposed to keep fighting, but her voice broke. But what? Mrs. Rivera encouraged. But I feel like giving up, Clara admitted. The truth hung in the air, lingering like smoke. Everyone feels that way sometimes, especially when it seems like life keeps throwing challenges, she said, reaching out to touch Clara's hand. What helps is finding purpose in the struggle. Your dreams matter. Clara took a deep breath, trying to replace fear with hope. Maybe the phone call about Millie was a call to action. Maybe she needed to channel her worry into something productive. After Mrs. Rivera left, Clara stared at her applications again. Instead of despair, she felt the first flickers of determination ignite inside her. She grabbed her pen and wrote a fresh note at the top of her application. Dear Scholarship Committee. It began to draft a story not just of her struggles, but of the bonds that held her up, the people who believed in her even when she didn't believe in herself. Just as she fell into her work, the phone rang again. Hello? Clara answered, heart pounding with an exhilarating mix of fear and anticipation. Clara! It's Mrs. Thompson! She exclaimed. Clara's heart raced. Would this be about Millie? How was she? What did she say? I have news. Clara held her breath, completely unaware that this moment would change everything. What could be so impactful that it would shape her journey in ways she never imagined? Clara's heartbeat drummed in her ears, a wild symphony of hope and dread. She gripped the phone tighter, hanging on to Mrs. Thompson's words, as if they were threads that could pull her from the depths of despair. Clara, it's about Millie, Mrs. Thompson continued, her voice steadier now, infused with a flicker of optimism. The doctors say she's stable. They're keeping her for observation, but they don't think it's severe. Relief flooded through Clara like a cool breeze on a scorching day. So she's going to be okay? She asked, her voice more confident, yet still wavering on the edge of uncertainty. Yes. She's a tough cookie, you know that, Mrs. Thompson reassured her. We're hopeful she'll be back on her feet soon. Clara closed her eyes, processing the news. The darkness began to lift just a little, replaced by the glow of gratitude. Millie would be okay. Her unwavering support was still there, just an arm's length away. Thank you for calling, Mrs. Thompson. I really needed to hear that, Clara managed, her voice thick with emotion. Of course, honey. I'll keep you updated, she promised before hanging up. With her heart still racing, Clara felt a surge of energy swell within her. Suddenly, the piles of applications surrounding her didn't seem like burdens. They felt like opportunities, like keys to doors she had yet to open. Millie had always believed she could do it. Now more than ever, Clara wanted to prove that belief was not misplaced. She returned to her desk, the pen poised in her hand, ready to spill her thoughts onto the page. Each word felt purposeful, the excitement about Millie's situation translating into sentences rich with hope and determination. She wrote with vibrant strokes, detailing not just her struggles but also her unwavering support system. She penned down memories of joyful afternoons with Millie, their laughter blending seamlessly into dreams of a brighter future. Lost in the flow of creativity, she barely noticed the sun setting outside until the golden hue poured into her room, bathing everything in a soft light. Clara finished her application just as twilight descended, a smile breaking free across her face. This was more than just a scholarship application. It was a testament to her fight, her growth, and above all her love for Millie, who inspired her to chase after everything she desired. Just then Clara's phone buzzed again, jarring her from her thoughts. She didn't recognize the number, but curiosity pulled her in. Hello? She answered, her heart racing again. Clara, it's Luke, the voice said. Clara's stomach flipped. Luke, her childhood friend, the one who had seen her through ups and downs, the one who had left for the city only to return as a successful entrepreneur. Luke, I didn't expect to hear from you, she replied, her voice brightening. I know I've been crazy busy, but I just heard about Millie. I wanted to check in on you. His concern was evident, warming Clara's chest. Oh, she's going to be all right, Clara reassured him, shifting into a lighter mood. I'm actually just finishing my application for a scholarship. Speaking of opportunities, I have an idea for you. His voice took on a serious tone, and Clara's curiosity piqued. What kind of idea? She asked eagerly, sensing the weight behind his words. Meet me tomorrow. I think we might be able to take a shot at something big together. As the line went quiet, Clara felt that familiar stirring of excitement mixed with an undercurrent of fear. What was he hinting at? Her mind buzzed with possibilities even as trepidation nestled in her heart. What if this meeting could open the door to everything she had been dreaming of? Picturing the next day, Clara leaned back in her chair, her thoughts swirling, filled with questions and anticipation. What kind of opportunity was Luke talking about? Would it change her life forever? The next morning dawned bright and clear, as if the universe itself were encouraging Clara to embrace the day. She tossed and turned through the night, giddy with excitement and nerves. Each stone in her path felt heavier, but she reminded herself that she was on the verge of something new, something promising, and above all, something worth the risk. Dressed in her favorite jeans and a cozy sweater, Clara checked her reflection one last time. With a slight smile, she stepped outside into the crisp morning air. The world felt alive, vibrant with possibility. She could hear a symphony of birds chirping, the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. It tugged at something inside her, a promise of change. The coffee shop where she agreed to meet Luke was just a short walk away. As she strolled down the familiar streets, Clara felt the weight of uncertainty blend with an exhilarating sense of purpose. Each step forward felt like reclaiming a piece of herself she had almost lost in the shadow of worry. Upon entering the coffee shop, the rich smell of freshly brewed coffee enveloped her like a warm hug. It was bustling with life. She scanned the room and spotted Luke sitting at a small table in the corner. He looked up and their eyes met. A wide grin broke across his face and he waved her over. "Hey, you made it," he said, standing to hug her. It felt so nice to be in the presence of someone who understood her struggles, a reminder of simpler times. "I wouldn't miss it. So tell me about this plan of yours." Clara leaned eagerly across the table, her heart racing. Luke took a sip of his coffee, then leaned in, his voice low and serious. "Okay, here's the deal. I've been working on a project to help local businesses thrive. It's a community-focused initiative, but I need someone with passion and creativity to help me connect with the community. I thought of you." Clara furrowed her brow, her excitement pushing against the boundaries of disbelief. "You want me to help with a project like that? But I've never done anything like this." "You don't have to have experience. You have something way more important, vision and heart," he stressed, his eyes sparkling with conviction. "I know you've got the love for this community. I can guide you through the process. Think about it, this could lead to so much more than just helping others. It could set you on the path you've been dreaming of." Her pulse quickened as his words sank in. Could this truly be the opportunity that would change everything? Images of Millie's wide smile filled her mind, and she felt a surge of determination lock in. This was her moment to step up, to be more than just someone who waited for chances. "What do you think?" Luke prodded, sensing her hesitation. I think I'm in." The affirmation left her lips before she could second-guess herself. Adrenaline coursed through her as if a door had flung open in her world. Together, they could create something impactful, something meaningful. "Great. I'll make sure to guide you every step of the way." His smile was contagious, lighting up the room around them as they discussed plans and ideas. Clara felt the weight lifting off her shoulders. This wasn't just about her ambitions anymore, it was about nurturing a community that had been her lifeline through thick and thin. Yet even as hope surged, a small voice nagged at her. Could she truly handle this? What if she failed, exposing her insecurities before him and everyone? The weight of doubt tipped her excitement. Just then Luke leaned back, his expression turning serious. "Clara, before we dive in deeper, I need you to know something crucial about my side of this." Her heart skipped a beat. What was he about to unveil? Would this revelation strengthen their plans? Or would it shake her newfound confidence? In that moment, suspense hung thick in the air, teasing the possibilities that lay ahead. Luke's gaze bore into hers, his expression serious. Clara could feel the anticipation crackling in the air, her heart thumping faster as he took a deep breath. "I've been working on this for years," he began, his voice steady. "But there's a reason I've been so passionate about helping the community. My family," he paused, as if weighing the importance of sharing this part of himself. "We used to struggle just to make ends meet. I know what it feels like to have dreams that seem out of reach." He looked up and met her eyes with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. Clara felt a connection deepening, this shared sense of vulnerability weaving a thread between them. "I didn't know," she whispered, startled by the revelation. "You never mentioned anything before." "I kept it private. People see me now and think it came easy." "But it didn't," he replied, running a hand through his hair. "It took grit and a lot of support from the community. That's why this project means so much to me. I want to give back, to create opportunities for those who feel stuck like I once did." His words struck a chord within her. Clara had always felt the weight of expectation, as if the world around her were constantly demanding more. Yet here was Luke, opening up about his struggles and ambitions. The prospect of working together felt larger than just a project. It was a mission born from shared understanding. "Your story makes this even more real," she said softly, admiration mingling with her own fear. "But what if I can't deliver?" What if this falls apart? Luke shook his head, his demeanor calm, almost protective. Clara, I believe in you. You're stronger than you think. And if we stumble, we'll pick ourselves up. This is about growth both for you and for the community. There was a fire in his eyes that fueled her courage. But doubt tapped at the edges of her mind, reminding her how easy it would be to fail. Just promise me one thing, she said tentatively. If it becomes too much, be honest with me. I want us to be able to talk about our worries. Absolutely, he said, a reassuring smile spreading across his face. We'll have each other's backs. As sunlight streamed through the coffee shop windows, Clara felt lighter. This wasn't just about starting a project. It was an opportunity to embrace who she was meant to be. With every word exchanged, she felt her resolve growing stronger, as if unveiling layers she'd tucked away for far too long. They dove into brainstorming, bouncing ideas off each other with freshness that ignited passion. Time blurred around them, laughter bubbling over as they brought personal quirks into their plans. Clara found herself increasingly vocal, sharing dreams she didn't even know she had. The ideas grew bold and colorful as they intertwined their visions for the community, painting a picture of what could be. Yet as excitement bloomed, a familiar apprehension lurked in her mind. Was she capable of matching Luke's passion? Uncertainty loomed like a shadow just outside the light of their shared enthusiasm. But before she could spiral too deeply into doubt, Luke's phone buzzed on the table. He glanced at the screen, his expression shifting into something serious again. I need to take this. Can we meet later to finalize our ideas? Sure, Clara replied, but she couldn't shake the feeling hanging between them. As he stood up, the weight of distance stretched between the two of them. This connection was real, but so were the questions that swirled in Clara's mind. What secrets lay ahead? Would the truth truly bond them, or would it unravel everything they had started to build? As the door swung shut behind Luke, the air felt charged with anticipation. Clara's heart raced, knowing this was just the beginning of a journey that could lead to unexpected discoveries. But what else was Luke hiding? The thought nagged her, fluttering in the back of her mind like an undelivered secret waiting for its moment to spill into the world. Clara stared at the empty seat across from her, the lingering warmth of Luke's presence still hanging in the air. His departure left a void, yet her mind buzzed with the ideas they had exchanged, a kaleidoscope of plans and possibilities. But doubt gnawed at her like a stubborn pit. What if she wasn't good enough? What if Luke's belief in her was misplaced? She pushed her mug aside and took a deep breath, letting the aroma of roasted coffee ground her. The chatter around her felt distant, a backdrop to her racing thoughts. Inspired or terrified? Those two emotions felt too intertwined, and Clara couldn't tell which was stronger. Her phone buzzed on the table, snapping her back to reality. A text from her sister Sarah flashed on the screen. How did it go? Can't wait to hear all the details. Clara smiled despite herself, her sister always able to lighten the mood. She quickly typed back a reply, omitting the stomping doubts that clouded her heart. Just brainstorming some ideas. I think it could be really good. But even as she hit send, she felt a twinge of guilt. She wished she could share how monumental this moment felt, how much it meant to her to connect with someone like Luke. Yet, she couldn't admit the fear swirled alongside her excitement. The rest of the day slipped by in a blur of errands and commitments. Work felt like a routine churn, every moment filled with tasks that seemed trivial compared to what could lay ahead with Luke. As she drove home, the sunset painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, somewhat soothing her growing tumult. Once home, Clara plopped down on her couch, the cushion enveloping her in familiar comfort. She closed her eyes, replaying Luke's earnest declarations. There was something about his passion that sparked a fire deep inside her. What could she bring to this opportunity? She jumped up, the realization hitting her like a bolt of lightning. She had skills. Skills she had overlooked, buried beneath layers of self-doubt. She could organize events. Her knack for making connections could breathe life into their ideas. Excitedly, Clara grabbed her notebook and began scribbling notes. Each word felt like a wave of empowerment washing over her. She could see at a community gathering, workshops, local businesses coming together. She wanted to inspire others like Luke had inspired her. But even as she wrote, a flicker of hesitation pulled at the corners of her mind. What if the community they aimed to uplift didn't want it? Or worse, what if they failed spectacularly? She shook her head, trying to brush the thoughts away. No, she had to believe in the possibility of something beautiful. With newfound determination, she pulled out her laptop and began researching resources, potential partners, and similar initiatives that could lend a hand. With every click and every new idea she generated, her resolve solidified. Just as Clara began to lose herself in the excitement once more, her phone buzzed a second time. A message lit up the screen. It was from Luke. "Hey, can we meet sooner? I have something important to share with you." Her heart thudded against her chest. Anxiety and eagerness intertwined as she typed back, "Absolutely. When and where?" Clara sat back, her stomach fluttering with the thrill of the unknown. What was it? Was it about the project or something else entirely? She couldn't shake the feeling that this meeting could change everything. But what if it was not just about the project but something much deeper? A shiver ran down her spine as she caught herself staring out the window, wondering what surprises lay in store. Clara barely slept that night. Her mind raced with thoughts of the meeting with Luke, tossing and turning as scenarios played out behind her eyelids. Would he share his groundbreaking vision? Or perhaps reveal a personal connection that made this journey even more meaningful? The weight of anticipation sat heavily on her chest, mingling with a flurry of anxious butterflies. In the morning, Clara got ready for the meeting with a mix of excitement and nerves. She opted for a simple yet sharp outfit, the kind of look that made her feel confident enough to tackle the world. She took a moment to look in the mirror, searching for the strength within her that slowly surfaced. Today's meeting felt pivotal not just for the project, but for her own self-discovery. Driving to their usual spot, a cozy cafe tucked away in a quiet corner of the street, she played out all the possible scenarios in her head. Would Luke be impressed with her plans? Did he have expectations that she was not ready to meet? Clara fought off the doubt that crept in, reminding herself of the excitement and passion she felt just the day before as she walked in. The familiar scent of fresh pastries and coffee surrounded her, grounding her momentarily. Her eyes scanned the room, landing on Luke at their favorite table. He looked up and flashed her a smile that warmed her heart. She couldn't help but return the grin, her stomach fluttering with a mix of hope and uncertainty. "Hi, Clara," Luke greeted, standing to pull out a chair for her. "I'm glad we could meet sooner." "Me too," she replied, settling into her seat. "I was really looking forward to this." Luke wasted no time, his expression shifting to one of urgency. "I've been thinking about our project. There is something we need to discuss." I know it sounds a bit crazy, but Clara leaned in, her pulse quickening. "What is it?" "I found a local community center that's interested in collaborating with us. They're really keen to foster local talent and give back. I think we could create something that not only serves the people but also brings the community together," he explained, his eyes ablaze with enthusiasm. Clara's heart soared. This was everything they had dreamed about, a chance to impact lives in a meaningful way. Yet, a flicker of doubt stirred in her mind. "That's amazing. But are we ready for that kind of responsibility? What if things don't go the way we envision?" "Clara, this is exactly what I love about you," Luke said, a calmness in his voice. "You think about the potential pitfalls, and that's important. But it also means you care. We can navigate this together. Let us not be afraid of the challenges. Instead, let us focus on the possibilities." His words hit her like a gentle wave, washing away much of her fear. Clara felt something shift, a subtle yet profound realization settling in. "You really believe we can do this?" "I do," Luke replied, leaning forward. His sincerity hung in the air, a beacon lighting the path ahead. "And I believe in you." A sense of warmth spread through her, battling back the storm of doubts. Clara was ready to embrace what lay ahead, with Luke by her side. She couldn't deny the flutter of determination that accompanied that belief. But just as she was about to share her thoughts, Luke took a deep breath. "There is something I need to tell you about my past, Clara. It's important for you to know before we dive deeper into this project." The weight of his words lingered in the air between them. Clara felt her heart skip a beat, the tension palpable. What was Luke about to reveal? And how would it shape their journey? Clara's breath caught in her throat, her heart racing as anticipation twisted within her. She could see the look in Luke's eyes, the urgency, the weight of unsaid words. "Okay," she breathed, urging him on. "What is it?" The cafe buzzed around them, yet it felt like they were in their own world. The chatter and clinking of mugs fading into oblivion. Luke hesitated, glancing down at his hands. It was a brief moment, but to Clara, it felt eternal, stretching the tension between them. I grew up in a family that was never quite stable. My parents struggled financially. We moved around a lot, and honestly I've been running from that background ever since. I wanted to become someone different, someone more. He looked up, his eyes locking onto hers, a spark of vulnerability flaring amidst their usual camaraderie. Clara felt her heart soften. It was easy to see Luke as the confident partner, the visionary. But now he was revealing the cracks in that armor. "Why are you telling me this?" Clara asked gently, her curiosity outweighing the anxiety. "Because I want you to understand where I come from, Clara. Anytime I feel doubt about taking on big projects like ours, I hear the voices of my childhood. They echo responsibility, fear, and expectations. But I also hear the voices of hope from my community, the ones who saw potential in me. I can't let that go to waste." His voice trailed, thick with emotion. Clara's heart swelled. Here was a side of Luke she hadn't expected, an openness that made him feel more human, more relatable than ever. "You don't have to carry that alone, you know?" she said quietly, feeling a shift in their dynamic. "I know," he replied, his voice steadying. "But my past has taught me that every opportunity comes with risks. That's why I'm cautious, and sometimes I might push that caution onto you. I believe in learning from our mistakes, but I also want you to feel safe in this journey. If we mess up, it shouldn't break us." Her chest warmed, the sense of connection deepening. "What if we focus on learning together?" She smiled at him, feeling the spark of unity. "We could have each other's backs." Luke's lips curled into a soft smile, a mixture of relief and appreciation in his eyes. "I do like that. More than I can say." Their conversation shifted back to the project, plans unfolding over coffee and pastries as the morning wore on. But beneath the layers of excitement, Clara couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the edge of something monumental, not just for the community, but for their own relationship as well. As they wrapped up, Clara felt a warmth in her chest, a newfound intimacy blossoming with each shared thought. Yet a question lingered at the back of her mind, a whisper that wouldn't fade. Did Luke's past shape him in ways that would later complicate their ambitious plans? Would the shadows of his experiences come to define their collaboration, just as much as their dreams? She watched him pack his things with a sense of determination. The road ahead felt uncertain, but for the first time, Clara thought perhaps they were ready to face it together, whatever it might hold. Just then her phone buzzed with a notification, pulling her from her thoughts. Glancing at the screen, she saw an unfamiliar name pop up, someone from her childhood, whom she hadn't spoken to in years. The message read, "I need to talk to you about Luke." Clara felt the blood drain from her face. There it was, a sudden twist in the narrative. Just when she thought she had things figured out. What could this person possibly want? Clara stared at her phone, a rush of emotions colliding in her chest. That name brought back memories, some good, others painful. She pressed her lips into a thin line, caught between curiosity and the unsettling weight of dread. What could this person know that would change everything? "Everything okay?" Luke's voice broke through her swirling thoughts, pulling her back to the present. His brow furrowed with concern. Yeah, just a text from an old friend," Clara replied, forcing a smile. She tucked the phone into her pocket, pushing it aside for now. "Let's focus on the project." In that moment, determination rekindled. The promise of working together, of making a difference in their community, ignited Clara's spirit. They dived back into discussions, sketching ideas on napkins and exchanging excited glances. As the hours slipped away, laughter punctuated their brainstorming sessions. They painted a vivid picture of workshops designed to uplift local talent, events that would bring the community together, and a resource network for those in need. Clara found herself feeling lighter with every idea shared. A surge of purpose filled her, replacing the weight of doubt. But as they packed up, her thoughts drifted back to that message. It gnawed at her like a small itch she couldn't quite reach. "I'll just check what they want," she whispered to herself, dismissing a sudden pang of anxiety. Later that evening, Clara found herself sitting at her kitchen table, the glow of a lamp illuminating her notes. She hesitated, letting her fingers hover over her phone as a wave of apprehension washed over her. Then she decided to reply. What do you need to talk about? The waiting felt like an eternity. She fiddled with her pen, her heartbeat echoing in her ears. Just as doubt threatened to unravel her resolve, the phone buzzed in response. It's about Luke. You need to know his history. Clara froze. The words hit her like a brick, pulling her back into a tumult of emotions. Concern and curiosity twisted within her. Why would she need to know? Fingers trembling, she dialed the number without even thinking. After a couple of rings, a familiar voice answered. Clara. It's been ages, yeah it has. But I got your message. What's going on? She asked, her voice steady though her stomach twisted. I just thought you should know about Luke's past. He's not exactly who he seems, the voice said, hesitant and serious. Everyone has a past. We all carry things with us, especially when life gets tough. Clara replied, biting her lip. Maybe so, but his is complicated. He used to be involved with some not-so-great stuff. I just don't want you to get hurt, they explained, their voice tinged with concern. The words rattled around in Clara's mind. She remembered Luke's vulnerability, the way he opened up about his family struggles. What kind of not-so-great stuff? Clara pressed, heart racing. Silence stretched before the response came. Heavy with gravity. He was searching for a way out by any means. It caused some rifts and he was linked to things that might still follow him. Just look out for yourself, okay? Clara ended the call, her heart pounding. As she processed the conversation, all those moments with Luke replayed in her mind, the warmth, the connection, the dreams for the future. Doubt crept back in, slippery and uninvited. Could she truly trust him? Was it worth the risk to the dreams they were building together? For the days that followed, Clara wrestled with her feelings. Each time she tried to reach out to Luke, uncertainties bloomed, overshadowing the hope they had shared. She found herself lingering at the edge of their collaboration, grappling with the unsettling worry of whether to confront him or let their vision continue to unfold naturally. Finally, on a crisp Saturday morning, Clara found herself at the local park, the place they had often visited to brainstorm ideas. She paced the path, determination igniting her heart once more. The fear wouldn't paralyze her. She needed clarity before moving forward. It was time to talk, to confront the reality that awaited her. As she waited for Luke, the air felt electric with anticipation. When he finally appeared, his smile struck a flicker of warmth within her, but she knew what she had to do. Hey Clara, ready for our meeting? He beamed, excitement radiating from him. Can we sit for a minute? She asked, her throat tightening. His expression shifted, curiosity mingling with concern. Sure, what's up? Clara took a breath, drawing strength from the vibrant surroundings. I've been thinking about our project and about you. Luke's brows furrowed. Me? Yeah. I got a message from someone about your past, about things you've been involved in. I need to know what's true, she said, her voice steady yet burdened with honesty. Luke's face fell, a cascade of emotions flashing across his features. Who told you that? Does it matter? Clara replied, seeing the defensive tension in his stance. What matters is what kind of person you are now. I just want to understand. A heavy silence hung between them, the world around them fading into an indistinct blur. Clara's heart raced, echoing the weight of vulnerability in the air. Please, Luke, be honest with me. He sighed, his shoulders dropping slightly. You're right. I've made mistakes. I've been on a journey to grow away from that, to create positive impact. But it's not an easy path. I'm not that person anymore. So, you were involved in dangerous things? She pressed gently, needing to hear the truth. Yes, he admitted, looking down, guilt radiating from him. I was caught up in some bad choices, chasing what I thought would elevate me. But I want to change that narrative. I want to be someone good for this community, for you. Tears pooled in Clara's eyes, the weight of the situation washing over her. But how can I trust you? What if those shadows follow you? I won't let them, he said, steely determination in his voice. I'm not here to hide. I'm here to stand. You've seen what I've been willing to give up to make a difference. I hope you can see that I'm trying to be better. A sense of clarity washed over Clara. She took a deep breath. It's not that I don't believe in your potential, but I need to feel secure in this journey together. We'll face challenges, but transparency is key. I need to know you're committed to being open both about the good and the bad. I promised. Luke promised, sincere intensity in his eyes. This project means everything to me. I'll be honest. We won't just build hope. We'll do it together. In that moment, walls began to crumble between them, vulnerability replacing fear. There was a chance of something more, of growth, understanding, and strength. Over time, as they navigated challenges together, the community project flourished, spreading warmth and connection into the heart of Maplewood. Clara found the voice she longed for, a voice that encouraged resilience and community. And with it came a profound understanding of their intertwined journeys, a celebration of how they overcame the shadows together. Clara smiled, filled with an undeniable sense of purpose. One day, she would look back at this moment not just as the beginning of fulfilling her dreams, but as a testimony of faith, friendship, and the transformative power of love that blossomed even amidst uncertainties. In the end, they learned the truth of every setback, every worry. Transformation was real, and together, they could face anything with strength, passion, and an unwavering commitment to their dreams, to each other. Now, it's your turn to embark on your own journey. Don't wait any longer. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories, filled with inspiration and hope. Leave a like now to help us reach more people with these heartwarming tales. And make sure you comment below your thoughts about this ending. It really matters. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this transformation and be part of our amazing community. You need to show your support and let us inspire together.